Welcome to another day of City of Heroes. I am your host, Levi Whitney. I would like to apologize for the previous two videos. I don't know what is going on with the recording system. Like, the software itself is just not behaving in an intuitive manner. I'm using OBS, but I don't really put the blame for what's happening here on OBS. There's also the fact that, well, City of Heroes' sound optimization is pretty insane. Alright, yeah, I feel like doing a run with this guy. I feel like doing dual pistols, but not him. This character. So, before, I had the sound effects volume up to 5. Here's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Now there's a reason why I started talking while that was going. Now, for me, this is all like super quiet. I can barely hear what's going on in the game right now. But, from what I've been able to test, it now sounds to you the way it sounded to me. And I just do not know enough about audio and video editing to really fuck around with it right now. I have my audio set to just 20. And this game gets too loud even for that one set to max. But now, this should record in a manner where you can hear me properly. And it won't blow out your eardrums. So, let's go stop a Rikti bombing. Neat little trick. I could get on board this helicopter, but I think I'd rather just go into this door. The helicopters operate on the same system as the train stations in the game, so I would need to wait for an invisible train before the helicopter would take me to the mission. Or I could just run in the door. A lot of chief soldiers in this run. This power is recharging about as fast as it can. All the blaster secondaries wound up with a power that just utterly annihilates all of their endurance issues. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can run around without endurance reductions in your powers, but you should be largely okay. Communications officer. I gotta go through the Angus McQueen arc one of these days and take some pictures. There's some Rikti that show up in those missions that look just amazing. And one of the things I wish that they would really do is diversify the Rikti uniform. Like, look at these guys. Green and brown shoulder pads. Green and brown shoulder pads. And then the normal guys are in just green outfits with... what is that? Teal? There are a couple of outfits in this game for the Rikti that can really make some characters stand out, like all orange uniforms. You could really stand to see the communications officers in the... it's like this dark gray with red shoulder pads. I don't know why it's not used more often. The ones that are in armor, like the chief soldier here, I got no complaints about those. They look great. I really need to remember to do that earlier. So, you might be wondering what I'm doing on this mission. Well, there are some bombs that I need to find. And then I need to disarm them. Although, the way this game works, the way you disarm bombs is by hitting them. Aha! Damn it. He got me with a sleep. I'm also rescuing a few people that are stuck out here. This is part of the arcs where Paragon first started to come up with the idea that maybe being a hero or a villain is not necessarily so black and white. So the Rikti War Zone got revamped. It used to be the Rikti crash site. And they introduced some arcs where you have to try to save the world from another alien invasion. The thing is, they made it so that regardless of if you were a hero or a villain, you could get involved. With the purple group, Vanguard, making it very clear that regardless of your allegiance, you are here to save the world. And then a few updates later, they introduced actual honest-to-goodness side-switching. And not just hero to villain, they also introduced the other classifications of vigilante and rogue. Rogues tend to be just people who pull heists, or they're just trying to get by, make a quick buck, using their abilities. For some reason, the world frowns on that. Granted, most of the things they use their abilities for are criminal, but the same goes for vigilantes, as they typically are trying to mete out justice how they see fit, which usually involves massive violence against people. And the tip missions, the missions that reflect the alignment system, they reflect that. Make sure I was redundant there. These little rat things. And they fart when they die. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? You can't get away from me. I got bullets. Gotcha. Bombs by now. There's one. Now this is going to be the only time I do this. But when you destroy these things, you usually want to be away from them. Because that happens. Whee! Alright. Honestly, I love that they added this ninja training secondary to blasters. It makes for some really versatile blasters. not going to believe this, but the most amazing thing just happened. Arnold Decker's strange story. One of the civilians you rescued, a young man named Arnold Decker, had a strange story to tell. It was the weirdest thing. They were rounding us up, I think, to keep us away from those things they brought. Never can tell what people can do in this town, you know? Anyway, one of them saw me and just stopped in his tracks. He pulled me out of the crowd, just lifted me up and was looking at me real intense. I thought I was dead for sure, but he set me down again, took off his helmet, and kneeled down to look me in the eye. Then he said my name. I could barely understand it. Their voices are so weird. But he was trying to tell me something. He said, "Arnold, take care of Mom." Then he tried to help me run away, but one of the commanders froze him in his tracks with one of those mind bolts. I don't know what it all means. How could he have known about my mom? She's been in a bad way ever since my older brother Ben was lost in the Rikti War. Sometimes I like to speculate as to what the original story was for City of Heroes. Like, it's pretty clear that the idea of the interdimensional Rikti showing up to attack Earth and the heroes having to fight them off at great loss to themselves was always meant to have been a manipulated thing. Like somebody egged the Rikti on and nobody knew who. And then of course there's the other part of the story for the Rikti, that they're all modified humans. Yep, these guys with their weird Protoceratops heads and tall, lanky bodies are all genetically human. But the cause of the war didn't make any sense. The backstory that indicated that humans had been to Rikti Earth before showed that the Rikti were peaceful. So nobody knew why they attacked Earth for no reason. Well, the Rikti Warzone arcs end up explaining why. Simply put, somebody pulled a false flag operation. And that ends up being the thing that makes me wonder how much of the story stayed the way it was originally meant to be. Because the group that pulled the false flag operation was the army of the Eternal Nemesis. A steampunk army based on the Mad Prince of Prussia. Like, what if the Mad Prince was actually a mad scientist and his weird steampunk clockwork machinations could be turned to war? You know, instead of the whimsical guy that he actually was. Now, there are some Nemesis missions where these random officers show up. They're way higher level than anybody else on the map, but not so high that your character can't beat them. You never know when they're going to show up. They never say anything, but they always stand out because they're usually at least 3 levels higher than you. So it got me thinking that maybe Nemesis was actually a cadre of officers pretending that there was actually a Nemesis running around as a supervillain, and they were just an army of soldiers using him as the ultimate scapegoat. But then these arcs came along. Blew my idea out of the water because they made it very clear that Nemesis himself is taking a very keen interest in what's going on. Man, there are a lot of bosses on this map. Which, Nemesis being an actual person, totally fine. It's a comic book setting. The idea of a cadre of people pretending that their ancient leader was still around. That's a bit too mundane. You choke and see how you like it. Although it does leave me wondering. Like, the idea was that Nemesis would goad the Rikti into attacking, and then when the Rikti had killed off all the heroes, Nemesis would swoop in, defeat the Rikti, and be the savior the world needed. Except that's not what he did. His troops were too disorganized. Many cells did not act because, despite their uniforms, Nemesis is a terrorist organization. And it is an extremely cellular terrorist organization. So apparently when Nemesis told his troops to help in the fight, many did not. And in the meantime, the heroes, at great sacrifice to themselves, actually wound up pulling off a win. And in the meantime, a bunch of newcomers popped out of the woodwork and stepped up to fill the gaps left by the heroes that died. Come on. Everybody. You. Oh, this isn't good. You dead. Woo! I need to take more cues from that video I made featuring Kodiak Green. I need to use my inspirations more often. But yeah, I find it strange that for a character the game sets up to be this mad genius, Nemesis would make such a boneheaded blunder. Ooh, crumpled him up. No, those guys. Ah, that's what they were guarding. Alright, fine. I'll choke the bomb. And there's the last civilian to rescue. Well, I do have something to help me chase that thing. Where'd it go? Did it come back? It came back. How much fuel does this have? Almost 2 hours, I'll be fine. It shielded the bomb. Fantastic. It's not recharged yet. But that is up and down. Quiet over there, Waylon. You've got food. You've got water. Oh God, more monkeys. Die, you evil little rat things. What's going on over there? I love it when the headmen teleport right into my blade. He'll be back. But not in greater numbers. Did that actually kill it? Looks like it. Oh, there's the last bomb. I'm I'm going to check to see if he's running up the ramp. He is! Bang out. Got him! Oh, this was not your fucking day. Oh, God, I broke him in so many ways. Oh. It's the little moments like that that really make me appreciate this game. There's Devious. So, I'm going to go ahead and close here, ending on a bit of a high note. You can just assume that I went ahead and wiped out this bomb too. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.